So the 2019 Marsanne was a tough year. We did get a little bit of frost on this, but made it through the real hard frost and get bit as much. And actually, it's a great roan white. It's not as fume or aromatic as Viognier, but it's got a lot more mouthfeel, richness to it. Or kind of like you always say, white wine for the red wine drinkers. But I still don't think it's got that bright, crisp acidity and a lot of mango and citric.
A little bit of stone fruit. So we're wanting to taste through all the wines for the October Wine Club release with you guys. For those of you who might not be able to join us in person, or you might just need a little Friday night entertainment. And we're going to do our best to keep the tastings short. And we want you all to know that if you are interested in having other virtual tastings with this, you can hop online to the website and there's a link where you can request those. So anyway, we're very excited to have you guys watching, and we're starting off with the Marsanne, 2019 Marsanne. Hopefully you guys heard what Jarrod had to say about it. I'm gonna kind of open it up for a quick discussion here with everybody else, hear what you guys think about it.
I think the nose is fantastic. It really draws me in. It's one where I'm getting some tropical notes on it, and kind of that Asian pear kind of feel to it. But yeah, and it's got good color as a whole.
Yeah. Straw color. It's really ugly in the vineyard.
Yeah.
So it's always a challenge when every time you walk in there and it looks nasty, and it grows really low on the cordon, and so
it does.
And it'll get color on the on the sun side, but then so almost caramelized. Then you'll turn it over, and then it'll be vibrant green, and it's really kind of difficult. But you just have to kind of wait and hang in there until the flavors come on, and then you pick it. And it doesn't really express itself until once it's going through fermentation, and it really opens up. It's kind of an odd but fun varietal to play with. So
actually, as you were saying that, I was thinking like I can almost kind of taste like the caramel-ness to it, that richness, and then it does leave that lingering kind of green apple acid, fresh. Yeah.
A lot of
it does have a decent amount of acid on it. Yeah.
Probably the first thing I noticed was the acidity, and just a kind of a strong blast of citrus too. But the nose, it kind of almost reminds me of the Albarino just a little bit, just coming off the nose. But this would be a great one to pair with maybe like, I don't know, I think it'd be great with Thai food, but that's just me. So
I was thinking like chicken in like a cream sauce, because I think the acidity in this is
that'd be nice.
Chicken Alfredo or something like that. I think it would go really well with this. Just enough.
I was thinking like
through that sauce. Sorry, Carrie.
Scallops with Beurre Blanc.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that sounds good.
I'm thinking a big slap of
Velveeta. Yeah, you're definitely making me happy. All right, you guys want to move on to the reds? I think we decided that we're going to do.
We're going to line them up.
Huh?
Where are you headed next?
I was thinking Carmenere. Yeah, is that right? That's kind of what we decided. What do you guys think?
Perfect.
Okay.
Carmenere?
Yep.
There it is.
Next Bordeaux varietal.
It's like I've done this a couple times.
Yeah. Professional drinker.
Oh, that smells wonderful.
I just want to pour that on my tacos.
I know.
It smells
Salsa.
like roasted peppers and salsa. Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You go to the farmer's market and they're roasting peppers right there. That's what that smells like right there.
Usually it does have. Sometimes in a cooler year, it can get more like black pepper. And it's really. And it can also be kind of one-dimensional. It'll dominate a blend if you're not careful. Kind of fun when it moderates itself a little bit. Like this is a good vintage. Pretty nice.
I think that's what I've always liked about our Carmenere is that instead of going to that really weird green pepper, it's always just a really nice ripe pepper and roasty and fresh and just really fruity.
Yeah, that green pepper turns me off, and so this is, I would have a hard time drinking a wine that has too much green pepper in it, and that's not this at all. This is delicious. It's got that kind of roasted pepper flavor component to it, and literally, if I could reduce it down and pour it over my tacos, I would. I mean, it is.
You can.
Taco Rojo. No, I think it shows well, and I think part of that's just the.
Yeah, I think Russell said something about salsa.
It's you know, it's definitely a little bit lighter bodied than I was expecting off the nose. You know, it almost reminds me a little bit of Mourvedre, and you know, the little bit of just a touch of floralness in it. This is a lot more drinkable than what I was expecting. I mean, but definitely better with food for sure. Probably some nice barbecue pork.
Mhm. After all the taco talk.
Yeah, right.
Pair it with?
Cuban sandwiches.
What cheese do you pair it with?
Yeah. What cheese?
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I'm gonna be go wild and go. I'd probably go with a crafted pepper jack. Like I'd go spice with it. Quite honestly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of the one. I'm gonna double down on my spice. So.
I like that.
I don't know. I just go with a hard cheese, like a Montego or something. So. Yeah.
I don't know. Baked brie.
Queso Blanco.
Baked brie might be interesting.
To go with the taco.
Yeah, baked brie. I mean, baked brie is always good, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice. I like it a lot. I feel like the 2017 was a cooler year, and so I was wondering how that would do. You know, every variety sometimes they thrive in like having a little bit different climatic conditions, and I feel like the Carmenere, I really like it this year. Sometimes it's so big when it comes out that it takes a little bit of time for me to kind of warm up to it, but I feel like
Yeah, I was a big fan of last year's, and I think I might equally be a fan of this one this year too. I mean, we'll see how it develops in the bottle over the next 4 to 6 months, but this one's really tasty.
do you have anything else you want to add?
I like the nose. I hope the mouth, it's a little lighter and softer than I like it, but.
I was saying approachable. I feel like it's very approachable right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Totally is.
Absolutely.
Sergeant Pepper, but not as much pepper.
Are we moving on to the Rockstar next? What's next?
I would say probably Rockstar next.
Who are our rock stars?
Who are the Rockstars? Oh my God.
Jarrod Boyle.
Yeah, I had to put my glasses on. Mhm.
Rich Jansen? What?
Rich,
AFC keg manager? Woo!
you're
Awesome.
famous.
Nice job, Rich.
Rich.
Now Jarrod came over. We had a good time. So the Flat Stick guys out of Seattle and Kirkland, Sam and Andy. Andy came over and did the blending with Jarrod. Geez, I don't know. Feels like 4 years ago now, but
Like that, I know. It's just where every year it changes.
it's been a long 4-year, right?
He had a good palate. He had a really good palate.
No, this one came together really well.
It's really elegant, I think, compared to
The
a lot of,
gorgeous wine.
isn't that? That one's nice. I like that one a lot. I can't remember what the blend was, but
I like the smokiness to it.
can't say smoky in
It's really bright.
Well, it's a 2017. Yeah, I know. I feel like it just has a lot of really nice toasty notes to it that I feel like just on the nose.
It's
Always-
got a very viscous mouthfeel and real rich and a little bit of brightness on the palate. But
I
boy, it's
really
really,
hated that mid palate for a long time.
ends are good and finish is long. And
I like it because it's really drinkable right now. I mean, this actually might sell out pretty quickly. Just like it normally.
Rockstar.
Yeah.
So it
Rockstar.
says that it's
I'm not getting the
44%
commission, but I know
Syrah.
Go ahead,
So
Karen.
44% Syrah, 33 Grenache, 23 Merved. Yeah, this is, I think when people try this wine, they're going to take it home. This is a gorgeous bottle.
The Mourvedre, I feel like does a really nice job of kind of finishing it off, right?
Yeah.
Like adds some liveliness to it.
Boy, the Mourvedre in the vineyard has really changed with age, which is great because I didn't, before it was always really pretty acidic and it wasn't as rich and, mouth filling. It was always a little bit more one dimensional. It kind of goes back to that black spice and stuff, but it's really doing great. And I just tasted some out in the vineyard today. It's phenomenal. And I'm really
How old
happy.
are the vines, Jerry?
Yeah, they're probably coming on 2004, I think, is when I planted
Wow.
them. So they're good. Yeah, they're really coming in themselves. So yeah, I'm really happy with
The
it.
babies.
I was definitely a big fan of last year's Rockstar. I love the Mourvedre dominant blend, but this one is definitely going to be a hit. It's just centered, and it's going to appeal to a lot of people.
Yeah.
So,
So ironic that you look like a rock star. And we're drinking rock star. Yeah, that's right.
rock on.
I feel like this is a really nice representation of
Rock stars.
of rock stars. Yes,
Groupie one time.
maybe. No, but I just was gonna say of the Horse Heaven Hills, like what the Horse Heaven Hills can do. I feel like this lineup of wines is very interesting, right?
They're all abstract. I mean, all
It's always one of my favorite releases.
Yeah, mine too. And I think it's perfect to have it for harvest because it's neat for us to be able to talk about all the different varieties that we have planted. Okay, JB, you get to decide what you think we should pour next, Counoise or Block 17.
Let's go to Block 17 last.
Okay. So Counoise.
Do all these esoterics. Oh, sorry, Miley.
I always love how Counoise looks in the glass. It's like
I know.
such a gorgeous glass pour.
Isn't it beautiful?
Yeah.
I have become a really poor pourer. I don't drip on
Say
almost
that
every
fast.
pourer. I'm out of practice.
Well, I wish I was sitting outside. It's hot and muggy.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Of course, I had to go put a sweatshirt on so I can be.
Yeah, isn't it beautiful?
It's gorgeous. It's gorgeous right now.
Be in the boat like 99 degrees today.
Is it?
No,
Over there?
that'd be great.
In October.
Dinner tonight. Wagyu.
Hey, what?
You know it. It's getting prepped right now.
Sorry,
Wagyu.
we're just having a party out here in Woodinville as usual. So just gonna cut the music real quick.
We should give you
Yeah,
guys
Counoise.
liver insurance. Oh, Counoise. Yeah, that's right. It's really interesting. This one it usually ripens a lot later. And I'm trying to think back 2017.
It was a cooler year, yeah.
Yeah, and most of like even the Carmenere, usually there's a little bit more one-dimensional to it, but we did quite a bit of blending and try to get, I like the hints of the spices and stuff, but try to get rid of just the, this is all you get out of it. And all of these wines generally have that black pepper component and the white pepper, and this is more, rich and balanced and,
Mm-hmm.
but the Counoise is a great Rhone grape, And I think we put a little bit of Syrah in this, and that kind of tempered it down a little bit. But I like it. It's really abstract, though. I mean, there's not a lot of Counoise around. We make some for Orcas Island, they do. Actually, they use some of it for their rosé, which is really good. So kind of fun. Rosé as well with Counoise, and also Mourvedre is really nice.
Mm-hmm.
The Counoise has always been my favorite here. This is one that we reached for quite a bit here in Woodinville.
After hours when you're drinking
Yeah,
late.
yeah. No, it's just a fabulous wine, and it's actually a lot of people that like Pinot, or especially if they like Gamay, it's going to fall right into that crowd, and also goes with a lot of stuff we eat over here. So sockeye, oysters. Is a versatile wine for sure. But
Yeah, this is going to be a cheese wine right here.
Yeah.
There's a lot of tannins in this. I was just looking over the notes. So what was the oak program on this, Jarrod?
We don't use a lot of new wood with it, but we use some of the rewind, and that, of course, that is, I guess, could be conceived as new, but because we're not trying to choke it out, and try to hide or mask any of the parts of it. But I can't remember what the percentage was, but there's quite a bit of neutral in this too.
Yeah, it said like 71% neutral, and I was like, there's still quite a bit of tannins on this with much neutral oak. So it
is kind of interesting because like Syrah is not a real tannic wine, and a Rhone, and this is a Rhone that generally this is the stuff we have around the wine or the tiny houses and stuff. So we have to pick this kind of site specific, because the stuff right around the tiny house we use for rosés, because it's that water from the grass and everything else makes them just big giant water berries, and they actually do really great with rosés. But and the other side is just it's a lot of sunlight exposure and stuff, and shows real well. We have to actually we thin it down to 1 shoot per cluster, because the clusters are huge.
Are they?
Yeah, they are. They could. I mean, I've seen some out there. They got to be 1.5 pounds, where like a Syrah, typical Syrah would be 0.25 or maybe 0.23 of a pound, and these are.
What are they compared to the Tempranillo?
Tempranillo can be big and elongated. These are just big, giant shoulders. I mean, the shoulders could weigh. You could get 1/3 of a pound just from a shoulder and stuff, and so it almost looks like a table grape. Which we're not.
Are they tight? Are they tight clusters?
They're real tight clusters, and like I say, so we have to thin it down pretty heavily, so we don't get a lot of. We're trying to get about 4 tons an acre, and we have to actually go through a couple times to thin that down in order to do that. So it looks pretty sparse out there, when the cluster count wise, but yeah, I don't know.
I like it.
That's definitely shining through on this. This is delicious.
Gary, what do you think?
I always love the Counoise because of its fruit and spice balance. It's just one of those wines that when it has the right amount of oak, it's just this gorgeous balanced glass. And so it's always one of my favorite turkey wines, and with a little bit of a chill on it, and the amount of acid and tannins in this is going to be perfect for that. And I mean, this is going to look gorgeous on a table. So, and it's one of those fun wines that not everyone's tried. So if you pull it out, people are going to be wowed by it, and they're going to tell, I don't know. It's just it's so fun to share.
I agree.
It actually, the acids don't, they want to hang, kind of like Mourvedre. Both those are late. They're not late. Well, I guess you'd call it late ripeners, but mainly because the acids just hold in there, and sometimes you virtually have to make a call on picking on like a Mourvedre, and the acids come in at 0.9. It's just just crazy. There's higher acids and stuff. And Counoise is kind of similar, but which is part of the reason they do really good for like a rosé or something.
Has compliments about that.
Yeah. I like there's a little bit of rose on it and some vanilla. We'll move on to the last wine. Oh, you get the label. Black 17.
Boy, look at the color difference.
I know, right? Go to just like a.
That is dark. Look at that.
I haven't had the 17s in a long time, so it's kind of fun to.
This is an 18.
Oh, no wonder.
Good.
Is it?
Yeah, of the reds, this is the only 18. So this, I mean, I feel like this is the perfect
What's
way
the
to.
alcohol in it?
This is my wheelhouse right here. Dark, inky wine.
Yeah. This, Jared's asking what the alcohol is on it.
14.4. They're lying.
Your eyes still work. Block 17, we have Syrah Lee and Phelps clone. Syrah Lee actually, so Phelps is a common one in Washington State, and Syrah Lee is one that's not as common, and we brought that in from King Estates, I think, out of Oregon. But and they're in the same block, same irrigation schematics, and we treat it all the same. And Syrah Lee is always later ripening. pH is a little lower than the Phelps and stuff. But it just, and quite a bit of the Syrah Lee's in this wine. It just, you got to wait on it and wait on it and wait on it. But it really, I love it. It's always well balanced and shows really good. And colors are always
Does
amazing.
that come together in the cellar then? If you're having to wait on one and then the other ones are a little earlier.
We have, 6 different blocks of Syrah, and we're used to that. And in fact, like block 1, we pick it. I mean, and by the time we're done picking block 1, there could be, from the time we first started, I mean, you could have a 10-day swing depending on who's. I have, we have WD or WT Thornton. They picked theirs at we picked theirs probably 3 weeks ago, and then now we're just starting to get to some of ours and stuff. So big swings on when different winemakers want to bring their fruit in and stuff. So, but no, it's kind of fun and kind of interesting because it truly is a clone, specific. So interesting.
Yeah. I mean, we're used to seeing it in apples and everything, but I think that it is fun when you see them side by side, 2 clones of the same varietal,
And it's a lot of caramel in it.
It does. This reminds me, I think, of, was it 12 or 14 that got the second best Syrah out of all the Syrahs in the country?
That was 14. Was it?
I think it was the 14.
The 14. This reminds me of that. I mean, quite
My
honestly,
favorite here so far.
This is a great glass.
it is. It's fantastic.
I think 4 more glasses of this, and it'll be really.
Right?
I'm in. Yeah, this is a gorgeous bottle. Yeah.
No, I'm glad that's 18. We did quite a bit of Saunier, and
yes,
that kind of
that was
intensified it.
something kind of a little, like we did more than normal.
Yeah, we did a lot.
You know what Saunier is?
Neither do I.
Ah, no.
No, we actually take quite a bit of the juice out of it, and so you're having less juice to skin ratio, so you're getting a lot more of the intensity and the tannins and the colors and everything with it. And but it's kind of you got to be kind of careful too, because it can be so dominant and so strong that your tan levels can come up and increase. But I think it adds that richness and that mouthfeel, and so it was good. In 19 we did quite a bit, but in 18 we did almost 90. Can I say that? 90%. Edit that out. 90%. I think Saunier. So it was fun. A lot of fun. And generally, if we're lucky, we can use that Saunier, all that extra juice for the rosé. But the timings are always, for your Saunier and everything, it's just so challenging. So we didn't quite hit that as well as I'd like to, because there's quite a bit of financial benefits if you do it right.
I think this is my favorite.
Yeah.
Mine too. Yeah.
It's definitely the biggest, right?
Totally
I mean,
is.
Yeah.
Really, I mean, it kind of is sad to not have a piece of red meat right now while you're.
Right.
It might have changed my meal category.
Tri-tip.
Wagyu.
I mean, honestly, we'd all be happy to drink it by itself, and I mean, it's definitely
I
a very
think this is
food-friendly
great.
wine. But for me, I'm like thinking
Yeah, they're really, they're all put together. They're all balanced. I'm really happy with the way they turned out. And 18 is a pretty darn young wine. Of course, it's Syrah, so I mean that usually shows a little bit better, a little faster. But boy, I'm pretty happy with these. I wish that a little bit more varietal distinctiveness on the Carmenere and maybe even on the Counoise a little bit.
I like them like that. I think that makes them nice. I feel like that makes them. I think that those varietals, kind of like a Grenache, right? Like on a little bit cooler year, they get to. They're more of a delicate variety. So we're used to it being such a hot site and having to kind of manipulate those flavors once you get them in. But I think if you get them in and allow them just to do what they wanted to do, nice.
Yeah.
All right, well, thank you guys so much.
There's no harsh edges here. This is really, really nice. So
These are all kind of restrained. It's beautiful. So everybody's gonna dig these.
Thanks.
like
Nice word.
Restrained. You should learn.
Cheers, cheers, guys.
All of you.
Hey, you guys are awesome.
You guys
Well
are
done,
awesome.
Jarrod. Another vintage in the books.
Oh,
Woohoo.
Or in the bottle, I guess it is, right?
there you go.
Something
Thanks.
for us to enjoy in 2020.
Thanks. Bye-bye, guys.